Come along as we spend 3 days in Taipei. We saw some cool stuff, went to a wedding, ate a ton of seriously good food, and of course, little Gojo came along too. We landed at about 5 a.m. in the morning, super jet lagged and super tired, but there was no way we were gonna nap. So we went to our first stop, the Hello Kitty themed 7-Eleven in Ximendeng. This would be the first of many 7-Eleven visits during this trip, but this one was definitely the cutest. The store was truly Sanrio themed. Of course, the store also had a nice selection of Sanrio merchandise like plushies and other accessories. Alex and I have no self-control when it comes to convenience stores in Asia. We got a bunch of snacks and 4 different cans of coffee. Alex got this hot sausage from the Odin section. It was really flavorful and super juicy. We also got this onigiri filled with salty onion and pork. And of course I had to get an egg salad sando. I've been craving this for a really long time and I could not wait until we got to Japan. We also had to have a tea egg. This is a hard-boiled egg cooked in tea and spices. It's also a great protein boost if you're worried about your gains. We really like the 7-Eleven and think it's worth visiting if you're visiting Taipei. Next, we wandered further into Ximendeng. It's a really popular shopping district with lots to see and do, and I'd probably recommend coming here in the evening to see all the pretty lights, but due to our tight itinerary, we came in the morning. Coming to Taiwan, we really wanted to try getting boba. So we went to one of the most popular spots called Tang. I really like that you could watch everything being made right in front of you, especially the boba pearls. They also offered xiaolongbao as a snack. You could get it with the pork filling or even the brown sugar boba filling. We only got the pork ones, but now that I'm thinking about it, I wish we got the brown sugar boba ones too. My favorite part of their process was actually how they bruleed the drinks on top. Dinosaur blowtorches? Amazing. Anyway, the bruleeing makes for a nice caramelization on top of the drink that I really liked. Their signature brown sugar boba drink was surprisingly not too sweet. The xiaolongbao was super delicious too. Next up, we popped over to ay-chung flour rice noodles. These are flour rice noodles in the thick gravy mixed with pig intestine bits. We did go shopping for a bit after, but we didn't have a lot of time since the wedding was actually in the evening, and to be honest, I got a stomachache. We did stop by this stall next to our hotel that was selling wheel cakes. When I was little, my mom used to buy these for me all the time from a local vendor. We took these back to our hotel to eat. These were really good, and although they weren't exactly like the ones from my childhood, I think they were pretty close. After a short nap, we got dressed and ready for the wedding. And did I bring little Gojo? Yes, I did. Our friends were getting married and they invited us to their wedding here in Taipei. One of the best parts of a Chinese wedding is, of course, all of the amazing Chinese banquet food. We ate until our bellies were full, and we had a fantastic time celebrating the couple. But we were still super jet lagged, so we didn't make it till the end of the party. Not surprisingly, we were wide awake at 6 a.m. On this day, we were celebrating my 32nd birthday by going to 2 different restaurants. Today we were using the Metro, which was a great opportunity for me to use my new novelty Metro Pass. It's a cinema roll keychain and you reload it just like you would any other Metro card. Because it was a keychain, it was super easy and convenient to use because I could just clip it to my bag and tap in and out. I clipped it onto little Gojo's prison realm. These were seriously awesome and I really wish they had these in Japan too. On our way to our destination, we passed over an area that looked like it had a giant farmer's market. We had plenty of time in our itinerary, so we decided to hop off and find out what it was. This was the Taipei Expo Farmer's Market. We were pretty curious about quite a few things, but we still had our lunch reservation, so we could only pick 3 things. The first thing that we got was glutinous corn. These are waxier and chewier than your typical corn. Alex is absolutely obsessed with glutinous corn. As for me, even though corn is one of my favorite things to eat, I don't really love glutinous corn. It's just not juicy enough to me. The second thing that we got was this deep-fried green onion pancake. And the last thing we got was leaf-wrapped sticky rice. Not surprisingly, Alex really enjoyed his glutinous corn. It was pretty waxy and chewy and not as juicy as I would personally like it, but that's exactly why Alex likes it. And I just have to respect his opinion. The green onion pancake was absolutely our favorite. We had to fight the urge to go back and get another one because we couldn't spoil our appetite. It was perfectly crunchy and oily, but in a really good way. The rice ball was made with red rice and had some meat inside. I thought this was pretty nice, but it wasn't my favorite thing. I did really like the chewy texture of the rice though. All I wanted was another bite of the green onion pancake. Also, listen to how silly my husband is as the cameraman here.
Press the button again and stop.
We were super happy with our spontaneous stop. Our lunch reservation was in Zhinan, and we got there kind of early, so we kind of wandered around for a little bit. On our trips, it's really important to me that we don't rush from place to place. I like being able to be present. So you're probably wondering about this special spot for my birthday. Well, there's something you must know about me. Even though I turned 32 this year, no matter how old I get, poop and fart jokes will always make me laugh. So naturally, we had to check out the modern toilet restaurant. When I told my friends that we were going to try eating here for my birthday, they laughed, but they were also kind of grossed out. I mean, naturally that makes sense. Eating out of a toilet, especially on one's birthday, isn't really on anyone's bingo card. Except mine, I guess. The interior of the restaurant was themed not like a disgusting outhouse like some might have imagined, but more like a kawaii bathhouse filled with poop emojis and rubber duckies. Everything was really cutesy and pink. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if my bathroom at home looked like this. We were seated at a table that was themed to look like a bathroom counter, and the napkins were hung on toilet paper rolls. Naturally, our chairs were toilet seats, and some of the other seats had more aggressive poop-themed decor. There was even a ball pit bathtub made to look like it was filled with bubbles. It's not often you get to say you got to eat one of your favorite foods out of a toilet bowl, but I got to do just that. I ordered the hot pot in a toilet bowl. It had your typical hot pot raw meat and veggies. It was served with rice and sauces. I got a regular broth, but my husband got the spicy one. Also, obviously the toilet bowls were really clean. And the food is served in a metal pan that sits on top of the bowl. Little Gojo can't tell the difference though. He thinks I'm eating out of a literal toilet. Anyway, between the two, I liked Alex's spicy broth a lot better. It just had a lot more flavor in it. For dessert, we got the panna cotta served in a yellow bathtub. And of course, soft serve ice cream in a miniature toilet bowl. All in all, Alex and I had a really good time and the food was not bad at all. Of course, it's not a Michelin-starred restaurant, but not a lot of other places are gonna make you laugh as much as this one did, and also make you feel like a kid again. Also, before we left, we even got little Gojo his own little toilet plunger. In the late afternoon before dinner, we went to Syntrend Creative Park. Obviously I was here because my friend told me that there'd be lots of anime merch. One of the stores had more Prison Realm things that I'd ever seen in one place ever. I loved browsing through everything, and of course I got a Prison Realm to go. I'd been looking for one of these guys for a really long time, so I was super happy. There was lots of cute anime stuff to see at the other stores too. Dinner was located at Taipei 101. I'm not usually one to visit towers when I'm on vacation, but I will when there's food involved. We were here for a Joy Buffet located on the 86th floor. We made reservations to eat here about 2 months in advance, and the price per person is about $120 US. It sounds a little pricey for a buffet, but let me tell you, it was worth every penny. This was not your typical buffet quality, it was definitely much more higher end. They had a huge assortment of basically all of my favorite foods, like sushi, lobster, steak, and dim sum. Not to mention a bunch of other things in between and a huge dessert selection. Here we first started with what I can only call a steak plate from the carving station. At first I thought they'd cut us a piece and that'd be the end of it, but they ended up putting together a really beautiful plate. No surprise, it was super delicious. This puff pastry soup bowl was extra enticing. I'm not sure exactly what it was called, but it was filled with a truffly corn chowder. The pastry kept the soup inside extra piping hot.
Yeah.
Also, if I see hagao, I'm gonna get hagao. I think I'm just naturally drawn to steamer baskets. This one was filled with 2 different xiaolongbao. The black one has truffle in it. They had a nice drink station here, and I got to try the sugarcane juice. Sugarcane juice is one of my absolute favorite drinks, especially when I was little. There were a lot of meat stations. Alex got a little bit of everything to try. In addition to having different kinds of meat, they also had a variety of dipping sauces and salts to choose from. I'm pretty sure Alex tried every kind of meat that they had. Also here I was trying to film little Gojo, but my husband couldn't tell and he was trying to give me a bite. He's super sweet. My all-time favorite food is sushi, so I made a lot of trips back and forth from the sushi station. They even had delicious otoro. I'd say that the tuna sushi was my favorite thing that I ate at ay-chung overall. It was certainly a joy to eat. They also had a nice assortment of sashimi and seared sushi. Seriously, I was in sushi heaven. But if fish is my favorite, I think you can tell that steak is my husband's favorite. Before we came here, my friend gave me some great advice. At first, everyone goes to the grilled seafood station, so it's better to just wait until later when the line dies down. So, after all that sushi, I headed over to check it out. I got the seared scallop, grilled spiny lobster, and somehow I got salmon sashimi in there again, and this giant grilled shrimp. Everything was delicious, but I still think the sushi was my favorite. Make sure you save room for dessert. I was shocked at how many dessert options they had. The glass display seemed endless. We were pretty full at this point, but there's always room for dessert. The cutest thing ever though was this Taipei 101 shaped waffle cake. The outside was slightly crispy and the inside was fluffy and moist. And you know little Gojo was super hyped to be surrounded by all of the desserts. My favorite dessert was the flan. I'm a total sucker for anything that's egg-based. I did unfortunately have to share my dessert with little Gojo. It was truly a joy to dine here. I think our only regret was not coming hungrier. The next day, we went to Din Tai Fung. I was especially worried that it might be too crowded, so we arrived quite a bit earlier to secure a place in line. I was not expecting them to have such cute merch, but the plushes were calling my name. I think coming early was a good idea. We arrived about 45 minutes early and we were third in line. Once you're checked in, they give you a QR code so that you can order your food before you're even seated. Okay, so something kind of funny happened. Here's the first table we were seated at. And here's the second one. So why a second table? Well, we ordered 15 plates, and the waitstaff came over and told us that we ordered too much food. It must be an accident. But it wasn't an accident. We just wanted to be able to try everything. So after some convincing, they moved us to a bigger table and let us have our food. The spicy pickled cucumber is a must-have, and we wanted to try the pickled eggplant too. Both really umami and light. Alex really wanted the shrimp fried rice. It was good, but not one of our favorites. Over here is a very small order of the truffle xiaolongbao. This one tasted extra good. Alex said he liked this one more than the one we had at ay-chung. Yeah, I was definitely salivating when I was mixing these noodles. In addition to the sesame noodles, we also got our usual noodles and spicy sauce. I could probably eat these noodles every day. Out of curiosity, we got the sticky rice and pork shao mai. I really like sticky rice things, so I was excited to try this, but unfortunately it was probably my least favorite thing that we ate here. It looks really fun though. And now, a clip of me eating xiaolongbao very ungracefully. The food doesn't come out all at once. They bring it out at a really good pace and in an order that makes sense. The hot and sour soup was also very nice. One of our top dishes is always the spicy pork wontons. These are served in the same sauce as the spicy noodles. These are perfectly salty, spicy, sweet, and sour, and the texture of the wonton is really tender. We also tried the chicken xiaolongbao, the golden lava bun, and the grand finale, the chocolate xiaolongbao. Alex might love those chocolate dumplings more than he loves me. I really love lava buns, so I had to try it here. Like the name suggests, these buns are usually erupting with egg yolk custard, but this one wasn't as filled as I would like. The chocolate xiaolongbao obviously was very good. The chocolate is luscious and rich. I was pretty skeptical about these before, but these are seriously so decadent. I don't think any trip to Din Tai Fung would be complete without them. The only thing we missed was the sea salt cream, but otherwise it was perfect. I think the waitstaff was surprised that we ate everything. We left with satisfied bellies and a hagao plushie. We weren't originally planning to visit a temple, but after looking at Google Maps, we decided to visit Zhinan Temple. We took a taxi to get as close as possible. This temple is known for its stairway of over 1,000 steps. The area around it was really peaceful and quiet. I think we only saw a few other people when we were going up there. Despite being pretty experienced with the Stairmaster at the gym, I was still huffing and puffing by the time we got to the top. It really didn't seem like 1,000 steps though, so I'm wondering if we started a little higher than the base. So Zhinan Temple is a Taoist temple, and one of the 8 immortals, Lu Dongbin, is worshipped here. The story is that he's jealous of lovers because of his own unrequited love, so it's generally considered that it's pretty bad luck for young couples to come here. I read this and still came here anyway. Jokes aside, it was totally worth it. It was really beautiful here, and I felt like the lanterns gave off the most magical glow. The designs throughout were so detailed and intricate, I couldn't believe that someone else made this. Meanwhile, I can barely put together IKEA furniture. I can't even hang picture frames on my wall straight. Upon stepping outside, we realized that there was more to see, and there was another temple up along the hillside. There was also a statue in the courtyard depicting a mother's love. The view of the other temple was breathtaking, perfectly framed by foliage. Here, I was once again mesmerized by the lanterns. To get back down, people generally take a cable car, but today I was especially chicken, so we waited for a really long time for a bus to come up and take us back down. One should not go to Taipei and skip the night market, so for our last night, we went to Raohe Night Market. It was located conveniently right outside of a metro stop. Pro tip, if you need to use the restroom while you're at the night market, you can go to the one at the metro stop. We were still pretty full from Din Tai Fung, so we didn't get too many things to eat here, but most importantly, we had to try the pepper pork buns. It was really cool to be able to see how they make the buns, in something that looked like a clay oven. These buns are filled with pork and plenty of green onions, and of course, pepper. These come out super hot and have a really nice char on them. The texture of the bread was chewy, and the pepper in the buns gave it a nice little kick, but nothing uncomfortable. As you can see, there's a really good amount of filling. I seriously wish we got another one. I don't know why we only got one. It was about 6:30 p.m., but there still weren't a lot of people here. Some of the vendors were still setting up. And vendors didn't just sell food. Some vendors sold clothes, stationery, souvenirs. Some vendors even set up games for people to play. Kind of like a carnival. I did smell this pineapple bolabao from quite a distance, and I followed my nose all the way into this stall. These breads look so yummy even as they were being prepared, and look how jiggly they are. It didn't take long for us to get to the front. You could get your bao filled with your choice of ice cream or with a slice of butter inside. I went with the butter. I wasn't sure if I'd like eating a slice of butter in between the bread, but it really melted the moment you bit into it. So really it was like buttered toast. The last thing we had to try was stinky tofu. We could smell the stinky tofu all throughout the night market. As you may know, this is a pretty polarizing food, and I really wanted to be one of those people that enjoys stinky tofu. Unfortunately, it tasted exactly the way it smelled to me, and I really didn't like it. Alex didn't really like it either, but he did much better than me and ate the whole plate in order to not waste food. I was sad. I was really hoping to be a stinky tofu person. And this was the last thing we did in Taipei. Super quick trip here. The next morning, we got up super early to be at the airport before 3 a.m., and that was before the staff even got there. But our next stop is a story for next time. Thanks for watching my first vlog.